a good livable wage green job. Let me say that the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act, which is moving its way through Congress at this time, different House and Senate versions, 90% of it overlaps, but there are some important differences we just talked about. This bill, the Democrat bill, quite frankly, H.R. 1, which passed through the House, would create about 3.7 million jobs. Yeah. That's a lot of jobs. The House Republican plan would only create 1.3 million jobs.
Now that's a lot of jobs, but we can do better.
We can do more than twice as better.
Yes.
So we can't just do as the little we can do. We got to do as much as we can do, because unemployment is a serious issue. Now it's important to understand that jobs lost in the last 13 months we've lost 3.6 million jobs. So if we want to recover what we've lost in the last 13 months, we got to have a bill like the House plan. And if we don't, we're going to be in a real situation. And folks need to understand, and I know you understand this very well, Congresswoman, if I lose my job, then I'm not going to get that haircut because I really cannot afford it. So that's a $20 I'm not going to spend. So now the barber didn't get that $20. Maybe there's a few other people who can't get that haircut. So now maybe the barber's not making enough money to make his rent. So now he has got to say, maybe I can't do barbering. Maybe I've got to close down my little shop now because I don't have the volume of traffic coming in. So now this is a person out of work. So now maybe the barber would go to the diner across the street and eat lunch every day. They're not buying meals. So this thing has a ripple effect, and that's why it's important for us to pass a jobs and stimulus bill, but a smart bill that invests in long-term recovery. You know what, Congresswoman, I want to show you another jobs chart up here. And again, you very clearly pointed out the individual human toll, but just to do a little numbers for a moment, job losses in recent recessions. Now, if you look at this blue line, this is the recession of 1990. This is a 1990 recession. We were coming out of George Bush the first, and that was the 1990 recession with the first George Bush. And so we had a recession then, and that was Republican time, and we had a recession, and those things seemed to go together for some reason. But anyway, we had another recession in 2001. When Bush came in office, Bill Clinton left America with a budget surplus.
Right.
And they, the other party got in and they took care of that surplus real quick. But the 2001 recession dipped us down. We lost the volume. Job loss relative to the peak month dips this way down. Now the current recession is off the chart. That's the green line. How? We're not even measuring how far down. We don't know how far we're down we're going to go.
It's not finished.
This is not finished. And the fact is that the job losses that we were looking at, 3.6 since when the recession started in December 2007. Something must be done. We have to act now. And I'll say this, while I really want the Senate version to improve, and I'm going to fight for that and encourage people to get on those conferees and to have a better bill come out. I know that we have to do something. No action is no option.
Right.
So now I want to say, if the gentlelady yields back, that the American people are behind us here.
Yes.
67% approved of President Obama's efforts to pass a stimulus. Only 25% disapprove. The Democrats in Congress scored a 48% approval rating. That's way up from before. And we had 42% of those disapproved of actions Congress's majority. But unfortunately, the party on the other side of the aisle, the Republicans in Congress, have an approval rating of only 31%. But I think they could do better if they support the bill. I would love to see them improve their popularity by supporting the bill. It would be great to have a bipartisan bill. The first time it went through, we couldn't get one Republican vote, even though President Obama came to talk with them, even though he reached his hand out, even though he extended himself to try to get to this post-partisan world that we all really, really want. But he put his hand out and they left him hanging. But maybe it's going to come back around and we can get a few Republican votes next time. But I just want to make clear that the American people are on the side of a stimulus package that will help them get back to work, and they believe that the president's doing the right thing by pushing this bill. Well, if the gentlelady would yield back, you know the definition of insanity, right?
Right, doing the same thing over and
expecting a different result.
Yeah, different result.
Now look, deregulation and tax cuts got us into this mess, but fair regulation and shared prosperity is going to get us out. Absolutely. And that's why the Progressive Caucus is here tonight talking about the progressive message. Here's the website right down here, Congressional Progressive Caucus. Here's the website. And, if the gentlelady from California feels that we've made our point tonight, what we're going to do is we're going to hand it over. But I think that before we do, would any parting comments you'd like to make, Mark? That's right. And so this is the progressive message, this 1 hour special order that the Progressive Caucus comes to the American people to talk about what's really happening, Mr. Speaker. We've been fortunate to have the chairperson of the Progressive Caucus who's been offering tremendous leadership and not only on economics, not only on an inclusive economics system, but also on war and peace. That's another thing that you have done such a great job on and have been so consistent. How many 5-minute speeches have you given on the issue of peace?
Over 290.
Now, see, I don't think there's anyone who's done nearly as many.
Sure.
I think you probably have broken a record somewhere along the line.
No, and
So you're going to keep talking.
I am.
Well, let me just say, just like you've been there day in and day out, talking about peace, bringing our veterans home, we're going to be here week after week doing a special order with the progressive message. We're going to be encouraging people to get involved. It's not just about an outcome, it's also about a process. We want to encourage people to get involved. What can you do? You can write, you can call, you can raise your voice and let your voice be heard. And with that, Mr. Speaker, I want to thank the chairwoman of the Progressive Caucus, and we'll yield back our time.